Prison is a very traumatic place, and I was recently asked to explain different types of trauma that the public audience may overlook in order to give them a deeper look on the inside. And let me tell you, this is not a top 3 list, but this is a list of things that immediately came to my mind when this question came across my messages. And it goes like this. One of the first traumatic things that I can think of that comes to my mind is sitting there in the chow hall on Sussex 2, trying to eat my meal for over 3 years, in a place where it's hectic, it's violent, it's cold, it's metal, it's plastic. There's no love in the food. The food tastes horrible. And to top it all off, there's a guard pointing a weapon at you. Like, if not directly at you, at the group that you're sitting in eating your meal, because they don't want anything to pop off during chow. And this is one of the most stressful things to have to endure while incarcerated, because eating your meal should be able to be a place where you can sustain yourself in order to go forward. But this is a place where it was a mental test. And some people purposely did not go to chow, ate out of their box day in, day out, just because they did not want to subject themselves to having to stand in an environment where a weapon was pointed at them while they ate their food. One of the next most traumatic things is something that occurred when I got older in the prison system, because I was in for 17 years. And let me tell you something, there was a point where all of the guards seemed to be like 20 years old, 21, 22. There's nothing wrong with young people. As a matter of fact, on my team, my facilitators, I purposely like to get young people because they connect the dots with the world. But in a place like prison and dealing with somebody like myself, it was extremely hard to take orders from a 20-year-old that did not take life serious, nor did they really understand the consequences or the weight of what was occurring inside of the prisons. More and more, those that are getting hired in the correctional officer positions are younger. Not everyone, but this was something that occurred by me, and many of those officers did not take life seriously, and especially their job. This is cool in some ways because you didn't have to worry about getting a charge every 3 seconds or somebody being excessive with their duties, but when you needed help, you couldn't get it. To top off, or lastly on this list, I've got a million more traumatic situations. Having to ask to use the bathroom. Like, asking a grown person to use the bathroom when you need to use the bathroom is the craziest thing I've ever had to endure as a grown man, grown adult. But that's what happens when you go to prison. And during count time, you have to ask permission to use the bathroom because you don't want to disrupt the count. That's a charge, and they may have to recount. They don't like that. So yes, on certain institutions, hey, CO, especially dorms, can I use the bathroom? I know it's count time. They can be nasty and say, no, it's happened to multiple individuals, including myself. And at that point, you got to decision to make. All in all, who wants to live in an environment where you got to ask permission to use the bathroom? These are 3 traumatic things. I've got many more. Ask questions, put them in the comments. Let me know what y'all want to know about. Stay free. Peace.